Hi everyone, this is Misbah Khan. Welcome to the course of DBMS. In this video, we are going to look into the basic concepts of entity relationship model or otherwise called the ER model. Basically, in this video, we will be looking into few important terminologies in relation with ER model. In this video, we will be mainly focusing on entities and attributes. Now, what is an entity? A thing in the real world with an independent existence is called as an entity. Maybe an object with physical existence, for example, house and a person, or an object with a conceptual existence, for example, course or a job. So basically, entity is a thing or object that has its own identity or that can be identified easily. So this is what an entity is. Next, let us see what attributes are. An entity is described by its attributes, which are properties characterizing it. Example, a person entity might be described by its roll number, class, age, etc. Entity has an independent existence, whereas an attribute does not. So let's consider an example. A student is an entity which describes these attributes like roll number, class, or an age. Now, let us look into the several types of the attributes in ER model with its example. Now, the first terminology what we are discussing is a composite attributes. A composite attributes are the attributes that can be further divided. So, example, name. Obviously, the name has first name, middle name, and the last name, and therefore this can be considered as a composite attributes. So next one, a simple attributes. The name itself indicates the attributes which cannot be further divided. So let's consider an example, weight. The weight cannot be further divided. The next attribute that we are going to discuss is a single valued attribute. A single valued attribute have a single value for a particular entity. Let's consider an example, age, single valued attribute of a person. So a person can have one age. So the next attribute is multi-valued attributes. A multi-valued attribute has a set of values for a particular entity. Example, mail ID, mobile number of a person. A person can have more than one mobile number and more than one mail ID. Hence, the understand in a better way, let's consider a pictorial representation or a ER relationship model for a single valued attributes and a multi-valued attributes. So let's consider student as an entity and its attributes are roll number, class, age and the gender. So the name itself indicates single valued. So the student should have unique single roll number, class, age and a gender. So simultaneously, multi-valued attributes are the attributes which consisting of more than one values. So a student can have more than one mobile number and more than one mail IDs. So now let's discuss about the derived attributes. These derived attributes can be derived from other attributes. Example, age can be derived from the date of birth. If date of birth is present, then automatically we can derive the age of a person. So next, stored attributes from which the values of other attributes are derived. Example, birth date of a person from which we can derive the age. So birth date is considered as a stored attribute. Next, key attributes. The attributes that is capable of identifying each entity uniquely is called as a key attribute. Example, roll number of a student. Obviously, a student has a unique roll number. So, the roll number will be considered as a key attribute or a primary key. So, let's consider the ER diagram of a derived attributes and the key attributes. So, let's consider student as an entity and its attributes are roll number, gender, date of birth and age. If date of birth is present, then its age can be derived. So age is considered as a derived attribute and from which we have derived that is considered as a stored attribute. That is nothing but date of birth. Next, key attributes. So a student has a unique identification number that is called as roll number. So roll number will be considered as a key attribute. Now, let's take a look into the null values. Null is something which is not applicable or unknown. The null is used when there is no particular value for an attribute. Like, for example, in a student table, if you don't know the phone number of a particular student, then that particular attribute value will be null. Similarly, null is used when there is no applicable value. Like for example, if a student does not have a phone, then there will be no phone number. So that attribute will be considered as a null. Hope you understood what null values are. The next terminology we are going to learn is entity type. What is entity type? It is a collection of entities that have same attributes. Example, student. A student can have roll number, age and gender in common. For all the students, these attributes can be same. Hence, it is considered as an entity type. Next is an entity set. Collection of all entities of a particular entity type at a point in time is called as entity set. For the given student table, student is an entity and its attributes are roll number, student name, age, and mobile number. So for the n number of students, these attributes are common. Hence, student is considered as an entity type. So the entity E1 and E2. So the collection of these entity sets are considered as an entity set. That's it for today. Hope you liked it. Please do like, share and comment. Don't forget to hit the bell icon. Thank you.